Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Steve, your host, and in this series we're going to be saving something from the old shelf of doom. It's Hobby Boss's Leo 2A4. This kit came out in 2006. We really hadn't seen a good Leo since the 1985 Italeri one. And I know there was an Eschi one in there, and there may have been some others, but I don't really think they were really anything to write home about. So there was a big gap, almost 21 years between the 1985 Italeri and the 2006 Hobby Boss. Now in 2015, Ming came out. Beautiful Leo 2A4, but I've got what I've got. Hope you guys enjoy the video. You guys take care, and as always, please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you then. Thank you. Okay, I just want to show you some tweaks I've got to this kit. I really like the detail on the kit so far. It's from 2006. I probably picked it up for maybe under $25 back at a Colorado Springs hobby shop. But one of the things that discouraged me was the assembly of this rear bit that goes onto the back of the turret. What I'm going to recommend is, when I had built this per the instructions 5 years ago, I was really disappointed how it fit into the back of the turret. So what I'm going to recommend is build this assembly as required with these bits and bobs and all that stuff. Leave these two pieces off, and I'll show you here in a second. If you build it per the kit and you put this in, you end up with a big lip here and a big lip there, because they're recessed, and that's not what it is on the actual vehicle. Same with this side. So you can see I had to take this. I took this bit apart one night and remounted it the way I'm telling you to do it, and I had to use a bit of filler. I imagine if you do it this way first, you won't have to get involved with the filler. So it mounts in there. I used a bit of filler on the side just to clean it up. I'm really happy with that. The other thing you need to watch out for, and really use references for this, the hatches, the Leos have really odd hatches. They seem to be spaced. You've got a lower part of it, you've got some posts, then you have the upper. And the upper always seems to fit flush with the top of the cupola. And that's the way I've had it here. I had to tinker with it a bit. If you build it per the instructions, these are recessed way down, and that's not correct. That's not correct for this vehicle. You'll end up with these guys sitting way down in there when they should sit almost flush. This guy should be up a bit more, but it's the best I could get with it. So, hey, you do what you got to do. The other thing you just need to be careful of is this vehicle. I don't know when they did the prototyping for it, but these are covers for the gunner's backup sight. This is either, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the gunner's backup sight, and that is the machine gun. These are covers. In service, you wouldn't have those. The kit tells you to keep these, put this piece on and one. These are the gunner's primary sight covers. They're two pieces. I don't think it shows it in the instructions, but in a photo etch set you get with this, you get some really nice details. So if you just kind of split this piece down the center line there, you'll be able to open that up, and you'll see a bit of the detailing on the gunner's primary sight. This piece here, this is a two-piece affair. I'm pretty sure that in looks, it looks like just one big solid piece. So I had a bit of filler there, not really a problem. The gun tube fit quite nicely. You've got some nice detail that where you're sanding, just be careful of. You've got, I think it's for the thermal sleeve, that you just don't want these rings that keep the thermal sleeve in place, and also the fume extractors. So just watch out for that. You've got some nice detail. There seems to be some sort of canvas cover here, and you've got some rings here that you just don't want to lose while you're sanding. One thing I really liked was, I've built Leos before, and the smoke dischargers are always separate pieces. And okay, it's you know, it's part of modeling, but I was really pleased to see that this lower one was all one piece to include the dischargers. This upper one was all one piece. Same on this side, and it had a nice positive fit for the handrails here. Same there. You've got two big ones, one on each side, and you've got a couple on the turret face. So, and they all have positive fit. One thing that also put me off for this 5 years ago, it was the way that the upper and lower fit. And what I've done is, you can't see it because I've got the lower hole prepped. I added a piece of sheet styrene here just to bring it up. And what I'm going to end up doing is I'm just going to leave it raised in the back. And I'm going to just get a better fit, because if the way the kit is, you just really end up with a really big, you end up with this gap if you don't you know, glue it up right. So what I'll end up doing is I will just pop that in there, and I'll get a good fit. And once that's clamped, that should look a lot better. One of the things I do with vehicles with side skirts is I always do the lower first. So you can see I've got the lower already weathered. There's some, the tracks are nice, rubber bands. I'm a big rubber band guy. The tracks fit nice. They painted up well. You can see I've got them painted and weathered. One thing you just want to make sure, the rubber pads sit inside steel frames. So you've got a lot of areas around here that may be prone to rust. So I've got it there. Takes a little bit, but hey, you get there. And on the most of the suspension components are going to be covered up, but the wheels look good. You've got swing arms, separate swing arms that all went in, and it all sat square. So I was pretty pleased about that. One of the things I had, and I usually have this problem with long side skirts. The side skirts for this are one piece, and they go from here all the way to there. And what happens is, I don't know, I can't get them all glued up to the hole in one piece. So what I normally do is I find a place where I can cut them, and I cut them here. This is the armor block for the driver, and these are just thin steel. And what I did was I separated it right here, installed the armor block, put a little bit of shim. I shimmed it just to get the tolerances back after the material was removed from the razor saw, and just installed them as separate pieces. And it worked out quite well. It was long enough to cover the whole run, but short enough where I wasn't having to tweak it and bend it. So the other thing you just want to make sure of, there isn't a seam here, so I used a bit of putty there to clean that up. But and same on this side. There's some there's photo etch back here. You've got separate tools. You've got non-slip surfaces. I've got to put some of the other details on here. Normally what I do, because of my weathering process, I will put these smaller details on last, because I just end up knocking them over. So when I put this together, it's a pretty impressive kit. I'm happy with the way it's come out. I'm glad. See, it's tough with the tracks, and it just pops. Yep, there we go. It just pops in it. I'm happy with the way it come out. I really like the look of the, pop them in there. I really like the look of the Leopard 2A4. It's beefy, it's square, it's got a lot going for it. It's an old Cold Warrior. I'm going to do a German 3-tone camo on it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this turns out. All right, Hans is going to play us out. I hope you guys have a great day. All right, take care. Bye now.